Este webinar se llama Top 5 Critical Skills Program en la Universidad National College of Ireland. ¿Qué es un Critical Skills? Yo creo que debemos empezar por ahí. Y bueno, un Critical Skills es una lista por parte del gobierno irlandés en donde pone todas las profesiones que están en alta demanda. Esto significa que si tú tienes una profesión en alta demanda o si bien tienes una oferta de trabajo o quieres buscar una oferta de trabajo dentro de estos programas, vas a tener la facilidad de aplicar a través de Professional Skills List, que te va a ayudar a que el trámite sea muy sencillo para obtener una estampa 4 o una visa de trabajo dentro de Irlanda. Una vez que ustedes finalicen lo que viene siendo un Higher Diploma o un Bachelor Degree nivel 8, se les va a conceder la visa G1 dentro de Irlanda, que es una de las ventajas de estudiar en este país. La visa G1 te permite solamente trabajar después de haber estudiado, en este caso con un nivel 8, un año y 2 años para maestrías y doctorados, ya que son nivel 9. De esta manera, cuando los que quieren quedarse en Irlanda a través de buscar migrar o continuar en su fuente laboral, deberán aplicar por un permiso de trabajo. Al momento de estar en la Critical Skill List, va a ser mucho más sencillo que lo puedan efectuar. Si tu programa o tu profesión no se encuentra dentro del Critical Skill, no te preocupes. Aún así puedes aplicar a la visa de trabajo, pero se va a complicar en los requisitos que le van a solicitar a tu empleador para que esto se pueda llevar a cabo. Nosotros queremos atenuar 5 programas especiales que están dentro del Critical Skills, dentro de la Universidad National College of Ireland, y para ello invitamos a Harriet Legut, que ella es la representante de la universidad y que nos va a explicar un poco más sobre estos programas, la empleabilidad, así como becas y las ventajas de estudiar en esta universidad. Welcome, Harriet. Thank you so much for having this webinar with us, and we are very excited to know more about the critical skills programs.
Thank you, Fernando. It's really great to join you to talk about NCI and talk about working in Ireland, and in particular on the critical skills visas. As Fernando mentioned, my name is Harriet Legut. I'm head of international recruitment here at National College of Ireland. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about NCI, and in particular, the focus that we have on careers and career support and developing those opportunities for you for when you graduate here in Ireland. I'm going to talk a little bit about working in Ireland and the different opportunities that there are here for you, and then look at 5 program areas that are open to you, that will potentially open up some great critical skills opportunities for you in the future when you graduate from those programs. So let's get started. Let's talk firstly about NCI. NCI is firstly a QS 5-star rated institution, which is a sign of our quality and commitment to quality in our academics and in our student experience. We have a 96% graduate employment rate, and that's something I'm going to mention a couple of times during this talk today. 96% is a very, very high employment rate, one of the highest in Ireland, and shows the commitment that we have to careers and employment and supporting you with your career journey here in Ireland. We have a number of fantastic accredited programs. For example, our accounting and finance degrees at both bachelor degree and master degree level are accredited by ACCA. Our Masters in Human Resource Management is accredited by CIPD. So we're constantly looking at what other accreditations or qualifications can we build into our degree programs. We have some fantastic scholarships, and we also connect with some funding bodies in Mexico to provide you with some funding options and opportunities. We have an award-winning international team here to take care of you when you arrive. And we have one of the best locations in Ireland. We are located in Dublin, which is Ireland's fantastic, vibrant, fun capital city, and we are located right in the city centre. So you have, within walking distance, everything that you need here for life in Ireland. So like I mentioned, I want to really kind of focus today on what NCI can do for you in terms of career support and opportunities. And it is a really, really big area at NCI. It's one of the main reasons that thousands of international students have chosen to come and study with us over the last couple of decades. Firstly, NCI offers and runs highly relevant courses that have an industry focus. What this means is that we choose to run only programs that are in demand in the economy, in the different sectors that operate here in Ireland. So when you graduate, you have opportunities coming to you because you have the skills and the qualifications that companies are looking for. We focus on small class sizes. You won't be in large lecture halls with hundreds of other students. You will be in smaller groups. It's a more personalized learning experience. And of course, that really offers really high level of academic support and academic excellence. Our faculty come with industry experience. So many or most of our faculty have at some point worked in their industry, whether it's IT or finance or marketing or human resource management. So they bring that real world practical experience and their industry connections into the classroom to benefit you and your future career. We have an award-winning career service, and we're going to look at those benefits in a moment. They run over 100 different careers events annually. And just to mention again that amazing statistic, 96% of our graduates are in full-time employment or further study within 6 months of graduating, one of the highest statistics in Ireland. So the career service at NCI, what is this? What are they going to do for you? Firstly, it's a highly visible service, and it really is a huge part of your student experience here at NCI. You will be learning your subject in the classroom and working with your faculty on that. But outside of the classroom, one of the main things you'll be doing is connecting with your careers advisor, attending careers events, and making connections for your future career. We have a number of careers advisors on campus, and we have subject specialists. So, for example, if you are studying cybersecurity, there will be a careers advisor that is an expert in careers in cybersecurity. So you're getting personalized advice for the kinds of careers and jobs that you're going to be going for. We provide a very, very comprehensive career development plan and personal branding and advice and guidance. So there's a huge amount of advice that is given to you and that is offered to you throughout your time at NCI. And it's very personal to you, okay? So it's focusing on you, the skills that you need, the plan that you want to have for when you graduate, all built around what you're studying and maybe the experience that you've had to date. And we're preparing you for the Irish job market. We know that many of our students come to us with working experience, okay? So you might have worked before for a couple of years or for 10 years, but it might be a little different here in Ireland when it comes to approaching employers, applying for jobs, sitting for interviews. So we're just giving you that up-to-date knowledge and skill that's going to apply here in Ireland when you start to apply for jobs here. These are just some examples of the kinds of events and activities that you can expect when you enroll at NCI. So firstly, we bring in a lot of industry experts to tell you about the career opportunities in their country, in their company, to talk to you about what skills you need, what you need to be doing, how to get ahead in the job market. And we do that in roundtable discussions and also in larger seminars. We have a lot of very practical experiences and advice for you. So we have mock interview marathons where we will invite in hiring managers from a number of different countries, and you go from table to practice your interview skills. This kind of thing is so valuable when it comes to applying for jobs because you will be super confident walking into interviews because you'll have so much practice at these kind of events at NCI. We also have employer-led clinics. So employers will come in, review your CV, ask you questions, give you advice on it, what to make your CV, what to do with your CV to make it stand out amongst all the other CVs that they're receiving. Again, really valuable practical advice. We have networking evenings. We have our annual careers fair where we have dozens and dozens of employers coming in to showcase their opportunities. We bring in our alumni. So our alumni come back for networking events. You can learn from their experiences. They might be able to connect you into the companies that they're working with. And we have a lot of career planning seminars and workshops where you get to plan out what you're going to do when you finish your study, where you're going to be in 5-10 years' time, and how NCI is going to support you in getting there. Just a few examples. There's a lot more that happens, but I think that you'll see there's a lot of very, very good, personalized and practical advice that goes into planning your career and giving you those opportunities. So choosing NCI definitely means choosing one of the best career services and career departments in Ireland. On the screen, you'll see just a small selection of the companies that the careers team are currently working with. So this could be for internships, for some of those seminars, for placing our jobs in graduate schemes or graduate opportunities. We work with over 200 companies every year. So these are just some of the bigger names or the most recognizable names that we would work with. Okay, let's move on briefly to talk about Ireland and the economy here and the kind of working opportunities that you could expect if you come to live, study and work in this country. Firstly, it's looking very, very good in Ireland. The economy is extremely strong. We've got record low unemployment. Okay, so we practically have full employment in this country. Companies are really desperate for more people to come and work here because there's a shortage in a lot of skills areas. And really it paints a very, very good picture for the next few years to come. Ireland is a global finance hub. So if you're interested in working or studying in finance and accounting, it's really a great option. There's over 430 financial services companies. We have almost all of the top global banks based here. Even though we're a very small country, we're one of the global centers for aviation finance and aircraft leasing. So there's a lot of great activity that goes on, particularly in Dublin and around Dublin Airport when it comes to aviation. We're also a global IT hub. We have over 1,000 leading multinational companies, including 900 software companies, and we're the #1 destination for US tech companies. So again, Ireland is a very small country, and you might be thinking, what could such a small country have to offer? But really, there are endless opportunities here, and particularly in those areas of finance and IT. AI is obviously a huge area in the IT sector right now, and we have over 40 companies who are currently using or developing AI technologies based here in Ireland. Aside from IT and finance, Ireland is also very strong in, for example, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, renewable energy, fintech, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, and security, data analytics, cloud, and e-commerce. So really, there are a huge number of international companies, but also Irish-grown companies that are very, very successful in these areas, all bringing fantastic job opportunities to the market. Very briefly, before you graduate and when you're studying, you can actually work part-time in Ireland. We have one of the highest minimum wages in Europe. You can work 20 hours a week during the semester. So when you're taking a minimum wage of €12.70, that's just over €1,000 a month you can earn. But you can actually work full-time or 40 hours a week at 2 periods in the year. Okay, so there are 4 months in the summer and 1 month in the winter where you could earn just over €2,000 per month working your 40 hours a week. This is an opportunity to get some working experience, but it's also an opportunity to contribute to your living expenses when you're studying. Post-study work visas are available in Ireland. 1 year for bachelor and higher diploma graduates, 2 years for master graduates. The great thing about Ireland is, unlike some countries where they have some restrictions on their post-study work visas, in Ireland, you are free to work in any job, any sector, any salary for those 1 or 2 years. So it's very, very flexible. And you can see that Ireland has quite a high average graduate salary as well. Okay, so there's really great opportunities here to work and to earn some good money. Looking in particular at this area of critical skills, so you might have heard about Ireland and critical skills and employment permits. There are different types of employment permits and employment visas. We're looking specifically at the critical skills employment permit today, okay? So what is the critical skills list? It is literally a list of occupational or employment or job areas defined by the government, okay, defined by the Irish government, where there is a shortage of qualifications or skills in the country, okay? And the critical skills list is there to attract skilled people into Ireland, okay, to come here to work and hopefully to take up permanent residence in Ireland, in the state. So really, this is the government's initiative to attract more people to come here to Ireland, to stay and to work in these areas that we need them. When you are successful in receiving a critical skills permit, you then can apply for family reunification. So if you have a partner, if you have children, you can apply for them to come and join you in Ireland. And just within the last week, we had big news here in Ireland. The government have just announced that partners of critical skills permit holders can now work full-time. So previously, if your partner came to join you, they were not allowed to work. But the government has now changed this rule, and both of you would be able to work once you're both here in Ireland. And I think that's a significant development we've seen in the last week. There are a few rules around the critical skills, but this is the most important. This is the main rule you need to consider. So to apply for a critical skills permit, you must get a job with a company that's based here in Ireland. The contract for the job needs to be at least 2 years, and it must be a salary of €38,000 or higher. That's the main thing that you need to tick, okay, when you're going to apply for a permit. So firstly, you have to secure the job. Has to be with a company here in Ireland. It must be for at least 2 years, and the salary has to be 38,000 or higher. After you've been on a critical skills permit for 2 years, you can apply for a stamp 4 visa. A stamp 4 visa is, again, just a permit or a visa that allows you to stay and work in Ireland, but you have a little bit more freedom because when you move to a stamp 4, you're not tied to working in a critical skills job. You can go for any type of employment. After 5 years on either the critical skills permit or a stamp 4 or a combination, you can apply for PR. You can apply for permanent residency. So critical skills is a route to permanent residency in Ireland. I know that's a lot of detail. There's a lot more information online, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the opportunity that we're talking about. If you scan the QR code, if you're able to scan that QR code when you're watching this, it will bring you to the full list. But equally, if you Google Critical Skills List Ireland, you will be brought to the government website that shows you the full list of opportunities. The ones that you see on the screen here, I've selected purely because they are based on, or they're connected to, programs at NCI. Okay, so you'll see there's a lot of areas in IT. There's also psychologists. We have a bachelor's degree in psychology, chartered accountants, management consultants, big data, financial project management, risk analytics. So lots of things in kind of finance and accounting, which are also majors that we offer. But there are a lot of different employment or occupation areas on that list. So go check it out because you might well have a background in one of those areas. And that might really benefit you after you finish your study here and try to apply for one of these permits, okay? So looking then finally at the programs that NCI could offer that fit with this critical skills list. The first one we're going to look at today is the Masters in Data Analytics, okay? This is a 12-month program. So one of the other amazing benefits about Ireland and studying here is that you can complete your Masters in just 12 months. So Masters in Data Analytics, 12-month program starting September or January. For this program, you need to have a bachelor degree in an IT major. So you have to have that previous experience of studying IT, programming, software development, maybe even a bit of data science. You need that to go into this master's. One statistic for you is that recent graduates of this program at NCI, 54% had a starting salary of €40,000 or higher. So if you think back to that critical skills rule that I mentioned, the starting salary has to be 38,000 or higher. So more than half of our students started on a salary greater than that limit for a critical skills permit. You can see 4 of the recent recruiters of graduates from this program at NCI. And I've given you just some examples of the job titles or the types of roles that those students have gone on to take at those companies. Okay, so you'll kind of get a little bit of an idea of what the future could look like if you came to study data analytics at NCI. The second area to look at is AI. Okay, we've mentioned AI already. It's a huge topic of conversation. It's a huge area of IT. It's a huge area of job creation here in Ireland. And it's one that a lot of people are looking to study over the next 6 months or so. We offer 2 different programs in AI. Okay, again, those programs are 12 months in duration. You can start them in September or in January. There is a master's in AI, the master's in artificial intelligence. For this, you need a bachelor degree in IT, but we also run a slightly different version. We have the master's in AI for business. With this, you can come from an IT or a business background. So there's an opportunity here for students who have studied business who want to start moving more into the IT space, okay? For that program, there's also a working experience requirement, but we do find that a lot of our students coming from Mexico and across Latin America have previous working experience. So I'm sure that many of you will meet that requirement. The government of Ireland actually launched a national strategy for AI just a couple of years ago. So there really is a significant focus, even at government level here in this country, on developing AI technologies, AI solutions for companies, supporting companies with developing AI technologies, and that is bringing about a lot of job creation. I just had a look earlier today, and I was looking at jobs in AI in Ireland, and I pulled out just 3 examples. So Intel, Morgan McKinley, and Reperio are all hiring AI specialists or AI engineers. You can see that 3rd job there actually has a starting salary of €60,000. Okay, so really good opportunities and really good starting salaries. If you want to move into the IT space, so you want to be a data scientist, or you want to be a cybersecurity expert, or you want to work in AI, but you don't come from an IT background, or you don't even come from a business background, we do have an opportunity for you. We have the higher diploma in science and computing, 12-month program starting September or January, and it's suitable for graduates of any degree major. So over the last few years, we've had students from English literature degrees, psychology degrees, foreign languages degrees, any background at all can join this program here. And it's going to give you, in just 1 year, the skills and the knowledge that you need to start working in the IT sector. When you graduate, you can have a 1-year work visa after this program, or you can choose to do what some of our graduates have done and take a master's degree at NCI and then actually go out into a 2-year graduate work visa. And you can see 4 of the employers of this program here as well. So Meta, AIB, which is one of the main banks in Ireland, Amazon and EY. So fantastic working opportunities for our graduates from the HDIP. Almost there. Masters in accounting. Okay, Masters in accounting is an amazing opportunity because, again, a 12-month program, but this is another opportunity that's open to graduates from any background. So you could have a degree in any major, and you could come and study the Masters in Accounting at NCI. The program is accredited by ACCA, and during the 1 year of study, you're going to complete 9 exemptions for your ACCA professional exams. So you'll have covered the majority of ACCA content or exams just by taking this 1-year program. The plan for these graduates is that they will go on to become trainee accountants. So we would have a lot of companies here in Ireland hiring trainee accountants. So for example, Deloitte or EY or any company that wants to hire a trainee accountant. And if you move to a trainee accountant position, you are working full-time, you're earning, and you're continuing your accountancy exams and study part-time. And usually within 3 or 4 years, you become a fully qualified accountant. There's a special visa here in Ireland for trainee accountants. It's a 4-year trainee accountant visa, and those 4 years count towards the 5 years that you need for a permanent residency application. Okay, so it's a very, very popular program at NCI right now. We're seeing very strong interest because the opportunity really is fantastic. Okay, last one, Masters in FinTech or Finance. Okay, some of you might have come from a finance background and you're looking to continue that here in Ireland. Again, both of these programs are 12 months. For the Masters in Finance, you do need a finance or an accounting background. For the Masters in FinTech, you need either an IT or a finance major, because that is what the FinTech program is. It's a merging of IT and finance. So you have to have a background in one or the other. Some of the top recruiters for these programs you can see here. So Citibank, Meta again, Deloitte and State Street. You can see some of the recent graduates' job titles or roles. So this will give you an idea of what you could be going on to do when you graduate. And just another statistic on salary, the Masters in FinTech recent graduates, 50% of them had a starting salary of €40,000 or higher. So again, reaching that threshold for the critical skills working permit. Okay, finally, just looking at some of the practical information. Entry requirements is a couple of things you need to consider. Firstly, if you're joining us from Mexico, we will look at your bachelor degree and we'll need to see a 70% average or a GPA of around 7 out of 10. You might have a program requirement. So I've mentioned a couple of those things already. For example, the Masters in Data Analytics requires you to have an IT background, but there's usually an option that we can give to you. It could be the higher diploma, it could be a slightly different program. So we would always advise that you apply for your first choice. And if you don't get your first choice, there's always a second choice that you might be happy with. The final thing we look at is your English language. There are a number of English language tests that we accept. IELTS is obviously the most popular. You'll need IELTS 6 or 6.5, depending on the program you're studying. And we also accept Duolingo. So Duolingo 105 or 120, again, depending on the program. If you are listening to this and you're already based in Ireland, you can apply for a free of charge English test with NCI. Okay. Fees and scholarships. So we're looking today specifically at the higher diploma and the master's program. So you can see those fees here. The higher diploma is €12,000 and there's a scholarship of €4,000. The master's fees for the September intake are €15,000. There are scholarships of 2,000 or 4,000 depending on your GPA. Okay, so when you apply, we take a look at your GPA, and if it's good, you'll get a €2,000 scholarship, and if it's very good, we'll give you a €4,000 scholarship. There are 2 programs that actually offer a slightly higher scholarship of €5,000. The Masters in Entrepreneurship, which we haven't talked about here today, but it's a great program, and the Masters in AI for Business that I mentioned. For the January intake, there's a slight increase in fees just on the master's programs, but not really too much of an increase. Payment plans. So anybody who is already in Ireland or anyone who's coming to Ireland that doesn't need an entry visa. So for example, if you're from Mexico and you don't need a visa to travel to Ireland, you can pay by payment plan. You pay €6,000 for your first payment. And then the balance of your fee, you can pay at the start of your second semester. Okay, so there's a little bit of flexibility there to help you manage your finances. NCI partners with Fidera and with FUNED in Mexico. They are both there to offer you some funding opportunities or some loan opportunities that can also help with your study. And that is it from me. I've definitely talked enough. You can see my email address and you can see the NCI website address here on the screen. So please do get in contact, and in particular, take a look at the website, because there's some fantastic information there on the programs that I mentioned, and indeed all of the programs that we offer here at NCI. So thanks, Fernando. I'm going to hand back to you.
Muchas gracias, Harriet. Bueno, esto viene siendo como una presentación muy importante porque está enfocada en los programas de alta demanda. Asimismo, acabamos de ver todo lo que viene siendo las scholarships o todas las becas, y también cómo en la parte para los mexicanos pueden aplicar a FIDER, que viene siendo un préstamo por parte del Banco de México, que parece casi una visa, y también tenemos FUNED, que es otro préstamo por parte del gobierno mexicano, muchas veces en combinación con CONACYT. Aún así, también para los que están en Guatemala existe Guatafuturo, está para los de Panamá y Farum, los que están en Colombia es Colfuturo, para todas partes del mundo. También Chile tiene CONACYT, que es algo similar como CONACYT de México, en donde podemos revisar cada caso en específico y ayudarles a ver qué es lo que hay disponible dentro de sus países. Queremos hacer este webinar que sea como muy corto, muy puntual en las cosas más importantes, por lo que no vamos a levantar una sesión de preguntas y respuestas, sino que más bien lo que queremos hacer es invitarles a que reserven una asesoría gratuita con alguno de nuestros asesores, ya que cada uno de ustedes tiene como asesorías, preguntas muy puntuales que pueden ser resueltas en una asesoría en lo particular. Entonces, los invitamos a que reserven una asesoría gratuita con alguno de nosotros para poderles asistir en la brevedad posible. Harriet, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Gracias por tu tiempo y esperemos próximamente todos nuestros estudiantes se encuentren en National College of Ireland. Hasta luego.